Hello there, toy collectors. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and I am very excited to bring you this special review.
If anything, the Kim family, they're archetypes.
Which is sad, but not always a bad thing.
I'm okay, I have one
Let's,
Zucio on the name.
Let's try them. Let's still try. We want to...
How's it going, everyone? Happy Saturday. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and tonight is a Boba Squadron night here on Toying Around. If this is your first time tuning in or you're new here, normally we talk about toys and collectibles here on the channel, but a lot of those toys come from, really cool TV shows and movies. So we get a chance to talk about those things here tonight on the channel with my friends, the Boba Squadron, and of course the chat. The chat interaction is a huge part of this, so thank you so much everyone for being here. I know it's kind of last minute, maybe not, but it's all good because we're here to hang out tonight and have a good time. And you may be wondering, why are we talking about Tales of the Jedi tonight? It's been a few weeks. Well, first of all, we've been doing a recap of the Andor show. So if you haven't seen that yet, if you haven't watched Andor, binge the series and then binge the recap of the series so that you can keep watching more content. But reason the second, well, basically.
Kevin, hey Paul, hey Ernie, hey Yoko. This is Ashley Eckstein, voice of Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, upcoming Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say on Boba Squadron.
Well, because of that, okay, Ashley Eckstein, we will talk about Tales of the Jedi. So grab some boba if you had a chance, hopefully, and take a seat. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't yet, and subscribe if you want to come back for more awesome content. I'm gonna bring on our first Boba Squadron, our friend who streams often over on Twitch. And you see her here on the channel often. We just did a stream, The Enablers, 5 hours and 46 minutes stream from Thursday, technically into Friday. Your friend and mine. Are we friends? Yoko McCann. Hi,
Are
Yoko.
we friends?
Oh,
Also,
hello.
I thought you were going to say 5 hours and 46 minutes ago, because it kind of feels like it.
Oh my God, right?
And what was the third thing I was going to say? Oh, I like Squadroneer.
Squadroneer? Sounds like a pioneer of, I don't know. Well,
No,
welcome back. Yeah, what are we
Thanks.
pioneering in?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Stupidity.
yeah, pioneering. No, we're not the first to do that.
That's true.
There's a lot of stupid people
Yeah.
before us. Before us. Not being specific. Just saying, Mario's older than me. Our friend Mario.
Oh, wow.
It's December, and it's cool because it's that time of the year where everyone posts their Spotify summary and things like that, right? What did you listen to the most throughout the year? Mine's usually just Frozen and Disney songs. Actually, no, this year was more so Pokemon music, a lot of that. But the cool thing is, earlier this year, when there were no Star Wars shows on to talk about, Boba Squadron did a podcast for the first time. We did it, put it on Spotify, put it on Apple Music, things like that. And, but now that the show's back, Andor's back, we're doing the lives. And it's cool to be reminded because on the year end, I guess, whatever the Spotify gimmick thing is, that's, people do in December, it was really cool to see Boba Squadron on people's lists. This one is in Spanish, but I don't know. I think podcast means podcast, my podcast. So thank you. Like Plasti posted this. We're number 2 most. His principal's podcast, like from his school. I think that's what it means. We're number 2. I don't know why he's posting his principal's playlist. Dorkanite, Dave, who helped us design our logo, he spent 742, I was going to say hours. I'm like, my God, why would you listen to it so many times? But it's minutes. minutes. He must really like us.
He's in the top 1% for sure.
He's definitely, yeah. And NYC Figure Fanatic. And we're up there with some cool toy friends of ours too. And it just makes me feel like, I don't know, it's a cool reminder. And I'm very grateful that we just talked for hours on end about, again.
And then you just hit that magic edit button. And
Yeah, I
it
should
appeared
sell
in the
that.
podcast.
I should sell that magic button as a technology.
You should.
Something I can spreadsheets and that magic button. So, thank you for everyone who's been listening all year or however many weeks it was, 10 weeks, I think. And
Yeah, I think we did 10.
10 weeks. And people often ask, can you make Andor and these recaps into a podcast? And I would love to. It's super simple for me.
People have asked that? What people have asked that?
I'm not like a politician where they go, people have said to me, like, no, I've had 4 to 5 messages that are like, are these available
Okay.
in podcast format? And my answer is always like, because I work so hard on getting these screenshots on my phone to the point where that I'm ridiculed for watching them on my phone. However, it's very visually focused and oriented. So it's kind of hard sometimes when, we're looking at something in detail for a long time for a podcast listener. They're just like, what the hell is he talking about?
Right.
And I don't have the time currently to do those streams and edit those down. But, we can keep that in mind and describe more things that we talk about, I guess. Even tonight, I can try to rip the audio for it and see how that goes. Should be
we can be very descriptive in our language.
If anything, I'm descriptive. I don't know what that is. All right. Paul is delayed. Hopefully he will be able to join us later. Ernie is cut. So I'm very grateful. You're gracious. I'm grateful for you gracing us with your presence. Everyone in the chat. I spun that around real good. Yes.
Good job.
Saved it. All right, let's see. So thank you everyone who supports the podcast. If you didn't know that it was there, go check it out. It's 10 episodes. We talk Star Wars collecting for the first half, and then the second half is movies that either myself or Yoko or both of us haven't seen, and Paul and Ernie are like, how have you not seen that? And we just talk about some of these alleged classics like Jaws and Son of Jaws and things like that. So if you need some extra background noise over the holidays, check us out. Boba Squadrons on Spotify, Apple. Is it Apple Music or podcasts? I don't know. I don't do Apple.
Apple Music?
Sure. Google Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts?
Things like that. So thank you so much. All right.
On your favorite listening platform.
You do that outro, so I thought you would know what it was called.
Listening platform of your choice.
There you go. My choice that I uploaded to. Please. Good luck. We have some people in the chat. Thanks for joining us tonight. Dragon Eyes 69 leaves my toys alone. Says, now this I've been waiting for.
Nice.
So yeah, see, there's still a reason to do it. Thank you for.
Should we still talk about Visions at some point?
What does actually Eckstein say?
I know.
Maybe when Visions 2 comes out.
Yeah.
Hello there, Winger Lose. What's going on? Thank you for sharing over on IG as well. Appreciate you. Bad Wolf Media is here. Legendary Poser, how's it going? Welcome back. Stream Elements, D-Cirtle, how's it going? Are you at work? What's going on? Ghost Fidelity, thanks for tuning back in. Matthew Toy, can't get enough of us. He was here tuning in Thursday night and now again. Good to see you, Matthew. He was at a toy show today, picked up some cool stuff. Check out Between Two Sentinels podcast on Matthew Toy's channel, where they talk a lot of toy photography, tips and techniques and things like that. John Carmen, channel member, thank you. What's going on? Says, hey, are we playing a drinking game tonight? Are we?
Are we? I can go get something to drink.
I think my head still hurts from Thursday.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. RMD, how's it going? gonna catch the replay. That's cool. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone watching on the replay as well. Mel Dade, welcome. I want that sweater. Look, I don't even remember where I got it, but it's. Oh, I stepped on my own cable. Was that? Is that what models do?
You gotta do like more of a like I know what models do, but
Oblique like turns.
more of a spin, dramatic look over your shoulder.
Oh yes. I've been practicing.
Yeah.
We have the Derpy 501st here. First time in the chat, I think. I've never seen that name before, but thank you for being here. Episode 4, enough said. End the discussion. Goodbye, everyone. See you on the next stream. Well, there it is. We're shutting it down. That's it. Thank you for being here. It is an epic sweater. Thank you. AZ Toy Hunters Guild, Oilers Workshop. Something keeps trying to connect on my computer. Go away. Nico Hodge, what's going on? Jedi. Okay. Oh, it's Patty. Hey, Patty. Good to see you. Mike Wan, how's it going? Happy birthday. Celebrating his birthday, but he still dropped in to say hi in the chat. That's incredible. Thank you. 796 Studios. What's up, Mario? Toy Rensu is here. Thank you for tuning in. Yoko McCann says hi to Mario. Mackerson over on Mackerson.
Mackerson.
All right.
You gotta practice.
Mackerson.
You're making it weird.
Oh no, that's
Not quite Mario trying to say Abracalina weird, but a little weird.
That's
That's
he's
the
not weird.
bar.
It's just bad.
It
All right,
was a little
music's
weird.
off.
Music's off.
Okay.
We're
I just
getting
turned the music
serious.
off.
Oh,
I don't know. Do you find it distracting? I can start it again.
I don't find it distracting.
Begin. All right. Toy wise, let's go toy wise. Anything change for you?
Oh.
Well, I guess since Thursday, maybe not.
No, because I never opened that Obi-Wan. I don't even know where I put him.
Oh,
I think I put him up on the shelf.
the Black Series Target exclusive.
Yeah, the blue shirt Obi-Wan.
Is it Tibidon Station?
Yes, that's what it is.
Yes. It's a great looking figure.
And the
Can't be-
credit collection Ahsoka figure shipped.
Oh, you got that? It looks good.
It's not here yet, but it's on the way. Yeah, Ahsoka had to do it.
Yeah, I mean, credit collection is not for me. It's like straight repaints.
Some of them are cool though. Like I like the concept art on them. Right? Those are the ones with the concept art. Am I confused?
Yeah, it's the concept art that
Yeah.
you usually get on the credits at the end of
Yeah.
an episode of Mandalorian.
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
use that art. Yeah, those look good.
I have
and
a
then,
couple. Like I got Mando.
yeah,
I think there's two
mean,
Mandos. Yeah.
I don't think there's two Mandos. I think, but I don't.
They're in
need
a
to
box.
collect-
That's why I can't remember.
Did you have like
I'll be
7
honest.
vintage Mandos at one point?
I think so, like 7 different ones. Not like pulling a paw, like 7 different ones. And I was like, why do I need so many Mandos? I don't.
Yeah, pulling a paw definitely is a meme for Boba Squadron, for sure. I said it a few times today. We were filming Hunting Around today at Toys R Us.
you did?
We got toys for a toy drive. That's why I'm dressed
Yeah.
festively. It was
Oh.
a holiday themed episode, and
You could have just been dressed like that because it's December, but
it could have been, but I, tying it into the story. But thank you.
oh, sorry.
Um,
okay.
And we just got
Continue.
a whole bunch of toys. Oh, thank you, thank you for permission. Very gracious. Again. And we dropped it off to a local toy drive, and I'm just gonna edit that as quick as I can, and hopefully put it out next week so that people can get the message across to go buy some toys this holiday season and help out a family or two if you can. That would be great. All right. Fred was in his Rebel pilot gear. Oh yeah, is he at LA Comic-Con? Fred, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
He did
yep.
say he was trooping.
I would assume so. That's where Ernie was.
All right,
Or
go
is,
check
or
out
who knows?
our fellow enabler, Fred, over on Twitch. Panfred Nudo, and also Livin' La Vida Yoko. I'm getting the hang of this, snapping to the right side. Except this is Galactus box right here.
It's not me.
So that's your toy, Star Wars toy wise. I didn't really get any Star Wars stuff. Today was a Marvel day, And where did Galactus go?
He's
Oh, I lost Galactus. He's over there.
oh, that's fine.
I opened this recently, the holiday edition Scout Trooper, and I really like his sweater. I would totally rock that in the holidays. So, give me that
It
one-to-one
seems
scale.
so wrong. He's
'cause
rocking
he's-
the sweater of
Of the guy he just popped in the
the
face.
child he popped in the face. Yeah.
And to pop that sucker? He's 50. He's fine.
That
How much
sucker.
cough medicine have I had today? Only one swig from the bottle. All right. I think that's, I think we should get started. Tales of the Jedi was announced which convention was it, Yoko?
Was it at Star Wars
Celebration.
Celebration?
I think it was
Yeah, I think
Celebration.
it was Star Wars Celebration at the end of May. They announced
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and they showed some clips, I think a trailer, but everyone understood that it would be telling stories of Ahsoka, young Ahsoka, and Dooku as well. And I don't know, I know you're excited, right, Yoko, because it was Ahsoka coming in?
I was excited for Ahsoka. I really didn't care about Dooku. That's my hot take. I still don't care about Dooku. Okay. We'll get to that. I just find him really boring, okay?
He is, but I think maybe that's why they wanted to tell more of his story. And I'm glad that of everyone who could make it, it was you, for the reason that you read books, so you can, this series I think is giving more backstory, and I don't know if it's things that is touched on in some books. I'm purely, if it's not made into a show or a movie, I'm not gonna really try to absorb that part of the lore. But is there a lot? Have you encountered much Dooku?
No,
literature?
I think there were two books that I don't know if they referenced, but that also cover these periods of times for both Dooku and Ahsoka. I've read the Ahsoka one, of course. The Dooku one, I think, is called Dooku Rising. I have not read that one.
It's called
it's Dooku
Dooku Rising?
I think so.
That
Dooku
sounds
Lost?
wrong.
Dooku Lost? Dooku Rising doesn't sound right now that I
No,
said it out loud.
Dooku Rising
What is the
is.
Dooku book called?
Oh, Yoko.
Dooku something. Dooku Jedi Lost. I was not close at all. I don't know what I was thinking of.
I mean,
Dooku Jedi Lost.
Dooku Rising. It's not that you got it wrong. It's fine to be wrong, but it's just that combination of words and yeah.
There's something I'm mixing it up with.
Open.
Dooku Jedi Lost. I have not read
Yes.
that one. I don't think I will. But the Ahsoka book will come into play when we talk about the last episode. And I will share my thoughts then. So that we don't
Okay.
jump ahead,
Oh, I just lost my mouse. Good job, Kevin. All right, Patty says she went. It's a
What am I
Marvel day
thinking
for
of?
her. She went to meet Simu in your Shang-Chi cosplay. Where was that?
That was
Alexander-
LA Comic Con.
Oh, he was there? Cool. Alexander Eagleson, another channel member, thank you for tuning in, says, I really wanted to make it to the Anaheim Convention Center and meet Yoko. Unfortunately, caught a respiratory virus.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's too bad.
For a decon?
Econ, or were we talking about Celebration? Maybe there? Hopefully you're
Oh.
better. Can we expect Christmas sweaters throughout December streams? I mean, I'm going to do
We
my
should.
best. I saw one the other day because I was looking for Thursday night, and I saw it's the Joker with a really classic Joker comic face on it, and there are bells all over it, like physical bells that ring. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god, I'm an adult now, because I'm like, how is this going to go in the washer?
That was your concern.
Yeah, so definitely have a different point of view from now on. It's pronounced jetty, a jetty, like a boat. Dooku is Star Wars, star of the series. You think? Okay, Mario. He doesn't know anything.
He barely knows the Star Wars.
He be rising. Oh my gosh. Hey, Linger the Rabbit. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Dooku Jedi Lost is an audio play with several people voice acting. Ooh, I love voice acting. Gotta check that out. Dooku rides again, says Alan Kenny. Dooku floating?
Oh no.
You guys. Oh, all right. Okay, so episode 1. Let's get into it. Let's start. That's our warm up. Spoiler
Okay.
alert, everyone. It's been how many I was gonna say years, it's weeks. Dooku 2, Son of Dooku.
And when did so we're only like 6 weeks late on this, right? It came out end of October. You're muted, sir.
I said a lot of good things about you. It's too bad it will be lost in the ether forever.
Yeah.
The ether of the internet, which I call the Ethernet. I made that up just now.
That's how that works.
That's what that word means. The Ethernet.
Hmm.
It's a port on my computer. Yeah. So these are quick episodes. We wanted to just quickly talk about them. Minimal screenshots. Did not have to employ DK. Which one are we laughing at?
Desertal.
I work in a public rec center. There's nothing funny about Dooku floating. Oh no. Oh no.
Sorry.
Oh no. Okay, DK. In true DK fashion, he was awesome today. We got to the shoot, and I realized one of my cameras didn't have the SD card. Of course, right? Because last night I was so concerned there was no space on my SD card. I plugged it into my computer, took the files off of it to back it up, and I thought I was, doing my being diligent and being ready. Sure enough, when I get there, the SD card's not there. So I'm like, we'll just go with one camera, whatever. DK's just like, you want me to get an extra card? I can drive down to Walmart. I'm like, okay, thank you. So he went and got an SD card and saved the shoot. So I didn't ask him, but he is
What
a
good intern.
great friend and
And
intern.
friend.
All right. Shout outs to DK. Episode 1. We have the birth of baby Ahsoka. This episode. Oh, I was gonna get the episode names. We be live.
Google. Do you want me to Google? I'd be
Go
Googling.
to the Google. All right, let's race. I'm gonna guess the first one is called Rising because it's the rise of Ahsoka.
It's called Life and Death.
So close. So close. Life and death. We'll just go through it real quick. She's born. Her mother takes her through this. Is it like a ritual to take them hunting, and they kill some sort of space elk, teach them about life and death, and in that time, some wild saber-toothed tiger. Space saber-toothed tiger. I don't know the names of any of these animals, so I'm just gonna add space to the beginning of it. And you can't tell me I'm wrong then, because they are in space. No, DK ran to Matt Logic 44. DK drove over to Walmart and grabbed an SD card. What a stand-up guy. There's the
Oh, we're jumping straight to the end.
yeah. So no, I talked about the
I
middle.
know.
And
I
then the saber-tooth tiger kind of snatches her off, and then she rides it back safely into town.
I suppose
Not
you
much-
didn't get a screenshot of the cute new creature that we saw in this episode.
The ones that were eating
The little
popcorn.
puppies. Yeah,
Yeah, I knew you would want. No,
they're cute.
I said I'm only gonna do one per episode.
Yeah. Okay.
But then I did 2 because this was a great shot.
Yeah.
But sorry, yours didn't make it through.
I just
you know-
would have said they're cute, so I can say that now. They're cute.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't go through the effort for that amazing commentary. No, they're cute
know.
for sure. Not much really happening in this episode. Were you, when you watched it, having this start off, how do you feel about this episode, Ahsoka fan? Number one, Ahsoka.
Honestly, I mean, look, this episode was cute. I don't know how much value it has, other than showing us cute baby Ahsoka. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if we got anything new out of it.
Did you like it though? Because
Do you know what I mean?
did you
It
see
was-
Baby
sure,
Ahsoka? And you're like,
I enjoyed the 12 minutes of cute baby Ahsoka, but it was like I feel like we kind of got the story already with Grogu, right? A little bit.
yeah. And it's not like a Jedi came and
Yeah. The only
took
other
her
thing,
or
I think it's
screwed her
cool
out.
to see her village, you know, like her, like another, it's another part of Star Wars that we haven't seen. So that's the only other cool part about it, you know, different type of
seeing
living.
a village.
Like a different type of, what am I trying to say? You know what I mean?
Oh yes. A
You don't know what I
different-
mean?
I absolutely know what you mean. I am a mind reader of all women, and
Oh my god.
no, I guess like what's that, Lucy?
She's yelling at you for being rude.
She's like, yeah, idiot. Just know what she means. My thought was like, did Ashley Eckstein do the baby noises too, or is it
I did not
computer?
even think about that.
Or do they record a baby? It's like, hey, make that baby laugh, and then record it, and then, oh, I should check the credits, because my next thought was, does this baby grow up in 40 years and then go to conventions and be like, voice of baby Ahsoka Tano from Tales of the Jedi,
Oh my-
and then like they're there signing autographs at a con, and they're like, do the voice, and it's, I don't know, maybe it's a grown man doing the voice, and he's just like, ah, doing baby noises. I don't know why I ran with that scenario in my head that long. So I wish someone just said it was.
Is that the career path you wanted for yourself?
It's too late for me. It's too late for me now. All right. Yes. You know, we know Jedi have been known to, or it's part of their order to go to find force sensitive children, and do they convince the parents that they should take them? Not just episode 1 stuff, but like Qui-Gon convincing, well, he won Anakin.
Right.
But in the past, when you see them go and, do you want to say recruit? I know some people are, the Jedi are just taking babies
Yep.
from people.
Murder,
Kidnap?
but yeah.
You see Paul's message?
No, where? In
Oh,
the chat?
Discord.
Oh,
It pops up on my screen. It's in all caps, so that's why it's funny. Hey, what's up, Bearded? Mind reading aloud. Oh, mind reading around. See, I can't do regular reading. Mind reading though, it's a cinch. Yeah, so I mean, it I don't feel like it added much value, but you know, I'm excited. It's new content. This is going through my mind when I'm watching episode 1. I'm like, all right, let's keep going. Episode 2.
yeah, like nothing wrong with it. It just, I don't, I think it just didn't
Mhm.
give us anything new, really.
Yeah, she does the Jedi calming down of animals,
Mhm.
communicating with animals, I guess.
Yeah.
It's better than if she had stopped the mother from being attacked with some force power, because that
Right,
would have been
yeah.
way too, I guess, early, and definitely very similar to a Grogu story.
Mhm.
All right, episode 2. This is where
Justice.
Dooku Justice.
I was
Every Dooku episode, I'm adding the Dooku before the title. So episode 3 would be Dooku Choices, and 4 would be Dooku the Sith Lord. That's not funny. Dooku Rising. That is his Dooku Rising in that episode. All right, but 2, we see him. We see Dooku in the ship with a young Qui-Gon Jinn, who's dressed. I think the clothes and the hair looks like a young, very young Luke Skywalker, almost. Very similar. But I thought this was awesome to see more of Qui-Gon. I know the only experience for me of like a backstory on Qui-Gon is like through comics of him going on adventures with like a Padawan Kenobi.
What was the Qui-Gon book I read this year? I liked that one.
Qui-Gon Descending.
Qui-Gon Rising. Hold on, let me Google. That was a good book.
How good was it, Yoko? What was the name?
can't remember them all. I just searched Qui-Gon and Kenobi. That's helpful.
Oh, do you want to hear a crazy Disney theory I heard today?
Master and Apprentice.
Oh, I feel like that's a name for a lot of things.
Yeah. That was
Provocative Jedi robes. Is this working for you, Nico? He's showing a little chest there. He's a little ripped, a little cleavage. No, Tormensu says, wish the Dooku episodes were longer, and that's exactly how I feel. I mean, you're like, who wants to know more about Dooku? But seeing how a former Jedi turns to the dark side, what could have caused this, and then giving us a few examples of things that makes him feel is disenfranchised a good word with the Jedi Order, or just like I thought it was great. And of course, along with him in that period, you get to see more of the Jedi Council. And for me, seeing more Jedi from that era is really cool. I want to collect like 3 3/4 Jedi. I used to collect those before I went down this path. I used to collect those were the only 3 3/4 Star Wars figures I collected were Jedi. So I thought I was always intrigued by that. So, hearing more of his story, and it's just tragic, right? His path of, why are we following the Jedi Order, who blindly listen to a corrupt Senate and do what they do, and do what they tell them to do, only to find Palpatine thinking it's an alternate route, but he betrays everything, goes down this path, and that person betrays him, which is, I think it's pretty tragic, especially the end that he comes to. I definitely wanted more. Did watching these episodes change your mind on him, Yoko?
No.
Oh my god! All right, Dookuing around.
Maybe I'll read Dooku Rising. No, I think I got enough. In this Master and Apprentice book, you get a little bit more of Dooku's story too, because there's like flashbacks of Dooku training Qui-Gon, and you learn about the apprentice he had before Qui-Gon too.
In the book, okay.
In the book, yeah. So I think I got a little bit more of Dooku in that book. I think I'm satisfied.
So on this planet, a senator's son has been kidnapped by these villagers, but it turns out all the villagers are in on it, and it's because it's their only way they can get the attention of the senator, who's off in Coruscant. He's so far away that he doesn't see how bad things are on his home planet. And then even when the son sees it, he's like, how did we get like this? So he shows up. Dooku is defending these people, and he straight up force chokes. Was it the senator or one of the guards? But you can see he's already starting to question the Jedi Order's purpose and starting to crack. I thought that was really cool to see. And Qui-Gon, who we know to be later on he's kind of thinking the same way. He's kind of thinking outside the box of the rules as well, and his start here as well. I thought this was an awesome episode.
I felt like the villagers look like they're from like a horror video game.
Yeah, I think they tried to make it look, I guess,
like they looked semi-undead.
Really they tried to make it look really run down, the village, and then I think because of the setting, maybe you've been playing that game too much on Twitch, where like everything you're just like, no. What's wrong with this? Let's report this village.
Yeah, it looks like Resident Evil Village, I think.
Yeah, where's my cough syrup? Definitely gonna need some of that. All right, and then maybe you
need my inhaler.
That's for nerds.
How dare you?
I gotta stop calling people nerds. I'm doing a podcast about Star Wars. It's like, and I love it. And I'm in a Star Wars Christmas sweater. Judging other people. So stupid. We roll into the next episode. Then we get pre-Jedi Master Mace Windu. I don't know. Choices of Dookuing. Chat, how did you feel about seeing Mace Windu? Yoko, do you care about?
2 of my least favorite characters.
What is?
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, what?
I'm just being a troll, but I'm kind of serious.
What the?
I've talked about how Mace Windu is an asshole.
Oh, because of book things?
Well, not just book things, but the books have enhanced my feelings of feeling that Mace Windu is an asshole. Yes.
Books can do that?
Books can give feelings, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it because he said Anakin can be in the council, but he does not get the rank of master?
That's one reason.
That's where it started for you.
Well,
we get Jedi Knight Mace Windu, and they're investigating the death of another Jedi, of Jedi Master, I think, because he inherits her council spot at the end of this episode. Sorry, jumping ahead, but yeah. But they're investigating it. I love that part, and them piecing together. Well, you're standing here. Where are the blaster marks on your ship? And it's another situation. We find out that on this planet, this senator has been selling away parts of his planet for, some sort of production, and basically selling off bits of his planet. So while it seems like these people, it's almost like the early starts of the rebels, where like they're fighting back against the powers that be for they want change, right? Because things are so bad. And it seems like Mace Windu doesn't see that, and Dooku, again, he's sympathetic to these people, which causes him his distaste for the Republic at this point. Still trying to remember all the timelines. But man, seeing the two of them fight together, Yoko, you didn't care for this?
No, it was cool. I mean, it was cool. It was cool. It's fine. It was fine. You knew they were walking into a trap the second it happened, though, right? Like,
did you?
Yeah, it was highly sus.
You're so hip. All right, let's go. Episode 4. And again, if you're in the chat, if you have anything to say about any of these episodes, please.
It's gonna be our shortest recap show ever.
Well, there's no Ernie, and I don't
know
think
the big
Paul's
talkers
gonna
are
make
gone.
it.
Should we talk about hats just to?
Those old guys like to really.
Oh, those old guys.
Really talk your ear off. You know what I mean. You didn't say no.
We got to find some hats to talk about in Paul's honor.
How am I gonna turn one of these shows into an audio podcast when Paul's talking about Imperial fabrics?
Oh, but he's talking about it in such detail
that you can almost paint a picture of it just from the word
in your mind. Yes.
Just driving around. You know when people come on the Enabler stream, it's 5 hours later, and they're like, "You're still on?"
Mm-hmm.
The podcast would be like they just skipped ahead, and it's still like every 15 seconds, when you skip, and then he's just mentioning something else about the fabric. He's like, the stitching on this, and then of course the color and the swatch on this part. You've never seen this material. Patty says, much like Yoko, I wasn't as thrilled with this episode. I was super into the Ahsoka training. That one's a good one too. We're gonna get there. That one's called. There's no Ahsoka. All right, so we get this scene of Dooku, which we kind of already know. We know that he deleted Kamino from the Jedi archives.
Yeah, but it was cool to see him do that, though. I think a connection.
Was it everyone's guess, and this was confirming it, or I don't know if books confirmed it before
that he had done it, that he did it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That you read all the books.
I have not read anywhere near all the books.
It was not confirmed in Dooku Rising. However,
Which I have not read.
because it's not a real book, Dooku is in this like a server in the Jedi archives, something in the Matrix.
I was
But
gonna
it's
say
cool to
it's like
see.
a Matrix.
Yeah, it's cool to see them confirm he was the one who used Master Sifo Diaz's, I guess, login code, PIN. That's why you should never give anyone your PIN for fraud reasons. Uses that name to delete it from the archives. Planet Camino. Obviously, I found some sort of Spanish stream to get this from. But it was cool to see. And then he leaves the library. He has a chat with the librarian. Is she Jocasta? I forget the librarian's name. But yeah, she reports that, your old apprentice, Qui-Gon, encountered a Sith on Tatooine, which places this at Star Wars Episode 1, the Phantom the Phantom Menace, not the Phantom Dooku. Oh,
Phantom
God.
Rising.
No. The Phantom Dooku Rising. Yeah, and then immediately start thinking about the fight in the desert between Qui-Gon and Darth Maul. And what was it that he says, that the librarian says to him something about the imagination? He has quite an imagination, and looks like you. And he's like, I feel like the Jedi Council could use something that we're missing a lot of lately. They're just following orders blindly. I think this builds a great character base for the tragic end of Dooku. Man, I love this guy. And the actor he was in Lord of the Rings. He was in James Bond.
Yeah.
He was in Bond. He is the name escapes me right now, which is insane. But apparently he was like Ian Fleming, who I guess served in World War II. Almost like a spy. Christopher Lee, that's right. And Ian Fleming wrote the James Bond novels, like either loosely based on or inspired by like Christopher Lee. And he ends up playing Scaramanga in The Man with the Golden Gun with Roger Moore. Let's do a Bond podcast. That'd be great.
Do I need to have seen them all to be part of that?
Yes, start now.
No.
We're doing 20 plus podcast episodes of the Bond Squadron. That's out. Nope, that's not a good nope. Nope. We're not doing that. That's
James
not what it's
Bond
called.
Rising.
And then in this episode we get to see Master Yaddle and Qui-Gon, who I thought sounded very much like I'm forgetting Liam Neeson. I'm forgetting everyone's name. Now I'm old. I think we brought it up before how I'm like, oh, the voice actor was really good. It did sound like Qui-Gon at some point, and Paul was the one who's like, well, because it is him voicing in this episode. So I for one am very proud that I didn't say that actor sucked. It sounded like nothing like Qui-Gon at all. Hot take.
That would have been awkward.
I should do that because those takes are like, look at that idiot, and then everyone gets views on the video. They want to watch it. All right, let me change the title of this episode to that, so we can more controversy added to the stream for views, for the clicks. But yeah, why doesn't excuse me, why oh god, that didn't help anything. Apologies. How come Yaddle speaks normally and Yoda hasn't adapted in
I feel like they explained that and I read it, but I can't remember why.
Wait, you can forget things that you read? It seems like reading
It was
isn't
6
all
weeks
that
ago.
it's hyped up to be.
It was an article that I probably read on my phone. Or a tweet.
Is that a dig at me that you read it on
Yes.
your phone?
Yes.
So Yoda and her definitely made Grogu, right?
Why does Yaddle sound different?
Chat. What are the your thoughts? Yoda and Yaddle.
Yoda is
do.
just Yoda. That's his thing.
That's what Google said?
That's what Filoni said.
Okay. Fair enough. That's what was going through my head. Why she doesn't talk backwards. And as a result, will Grogu speak backwards?
Yeah.
But it's cool to see more. Again, I love seeing more of the Jedi. It's great to see her. We could talk about more of her involvement later. But there's a chat between the three of them: Dooku, Qui-Gon, and Yaddle. And you know,
I don't know where it is, but I have a Yaddle autographed card somewhere.
Do you? I think I remember that.
Yeah, from something I opened like last year.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
I'll have to find it.
But I like that they referenced Obi-Wan about his new apprentice, and Dooku's like, oh, you know, I've heard you speak so many good things about him. I'd like to meet him one day. And then when they meet later on in the movies, he's like, it's a shame we never got to meet before. Qui-Gon was around. So I thought that was a nice excuse me, a nice tie into that part.
Mm-hmm.
I read somewhere that Yoda's speech reflected his master. Oh, cool.
Huh.
How old is Yoda in the High Republic series? I wonder if you see his master or mentioned there. All those books and comics. Do you have any interest in the High Republic stuff, Yoko?
I've read a couple of the books. Nothing that Yoda was in. I read a couple. I keep meaning to go back to them. There's just so much. There's so much.
There is a lot. It is overwhelming. Shout out to everyone who's here right now and says, Paul's not here, Ernie's not here, and they're talking about books. Respect. Thanks for the support that you're still here. I love it. What's all this book talk? So I think it immediately cuts afterwards to following Qui-Gon's death.
Oh, but you know who voiced Yaddle, right? In this episode?
Was it Bryce Dallas Howard?
Yeah, good job. Good job, Kev.
I know the names. I just didn't know the order.
You got it. Nailed it.
You had to recall Paul's shirt. But we cut to afterwards that after Qui-Gon is killed by Darth Maul, and they're having a funeral, and Dooku says, I'm not gonna go to the funeral. I wouldn't be very good company. And Yaddle's like, you hold them accountable, the Jedi Council? Which I thought was like, it's really cool that she could recognize what was going on with him. And she ends up tailing him as he goes to meet up with Palpatine. And, you know, just Dooku's fought two little green aliens.
But you know what I actually never realized? And maybe it's just because of my lack of interest in Dooku before, but like I didn't realize that this was happening now. Like I kind of thought his turn happened earlier. You know? So it kind of took me by surprise to realize that this was happening like right now, like in this timeline.
Oh, you thought it was
like I thought he had already turned, you know?
Yeah. Because in the movies he's already there.
Yeah.
And they know of him to be a former Jedi, but we don't know how much or when it happened.
Yeah, I don't feel like they really reference the time or, you know, how much time has passed before. I'm sure in Dooku Rising they did, but
Yoko's gonna get a book deal just to get that title. Go buy the domain right now, dookurising.com.
Oh my god.
And we can link it to Chesty Jawas.
You can't say that anymore.
Yeah, Alan Kenny, Luke mentions in a book of Boba Fett that Yoda had a way of speaking in riddles. In the sense that you had to rearrange the words to make sense. No, it makes sense. It's just hard to Nico Hodge, same thing. I thought it was because that the old basic grammatical structure, and he's so old that he was around for the language shift but never changed his way of
Hmm.
speech. That could be
That
it too.
that's just grandpa.
That's just what Grandpa. That's how he talks. 900 years ago. Tormentu says, "Yeah, I was surprised he hadn't turned until after
Okay,
Phantom
yeah, not
Menace.
just me.
So
Yeah,
it's very recent. Yeah. No, again, and that's why I think this is cool.
yeah.
I think the prequels was what really I grew up with
Hmm.
for Star Wars. So seeing more backstory to this, much like Clone Wars, um, these animations that or these animated shows that Dave Filoni is doing to fill in those spots. I think they're a huge part of the whole lore. So she tracks him down. She tails him to find him meeting up with Palpatine, who at that point he still seems very conflicted, right? He's like, "You've gone too far." Qui-Gon's dead, and then Palpatine's like, "Well, I lost an apprentice too, but everyone's just a pawn to him. He doesn't really care." You can see him smirking throughout this episode that like he's just doing things to manipulate everybody. He's a master of it. That's why he's able to pull off this giant, take control of the whole galaxy and pull off this huge swindling everyone with the separatists and then switching everything around to consolidating power for himself. So Yaddle confronts Dooku. They showdown. If you didn't like Yaddle, but you still felt kind of sad when she was crushed by that door, right? Or no, robot?
Oh, what? Me?
Yeah.
No, I didn't say I didn't like Yaddle.
No, but okay. You do like Yaddle?
I mean, how could you not? How do you not like Yaddle? How would you not be? How would you not be rooting for her here?
It was so sad when she was crushed
Yeah.
by the door.
I was kind of like, is this really going to happen? Like I didn't. I was skeptical that was. I was like, I was convinced she would get away somehow or something. Like I
Yeah,
didn't
why did she
think.
keep running? She was
Yeah.
there.
But that's at the same time I was like, I feel like in my mind I was torn. Was like, are they really going to do this or like? But I guess that's what also pushes Dooku over the edge too. He murders his
Yeah.
friend.
There's no going back, right? He says, too much has already happened. A lot of people have died because of their actions. Gross Fidelity, the fact that his turn was recent makes the unawareness of the council more believable.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping she would escape. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it on the right here. Palpatine's in the shadow.
His
in
shadow,
robe.
just watching.
It's absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous. And he does it later, right? He just lets them fight Anakin and Obi-Wan fight Dooku.
Right.
What a player. Not in that sense. Matthew Toy says, I used to work at a library and Yaddle reminds me of one of my bosses. So you see her as a hot librarian type?
A hot librarian.
Matthew, is that what you're saying? Man, I didn't know that.
Conclusion
Star
you jumped
Wars.
to.
I didn't know this series was so intriguing for everyone. First Nico with the Qui-Gon V-neck. Deep V. All right, but yeah,
you made some conclusions there based on Machu's statement.
there's a tone has been set, not by me. That's all I'm saying.
No,
Well,
I
I'm gonna
don't know. I don't know.
Not by me.
I'm not sure that's the direction my mind went.
Yo, and then he she falls on the floor and he just ends it right there. It's
Yeah.
I mean, I want more. Is there a season 2? Do we know anything about more episodes? Or this
I don't know.
is
I don't know if we own. Maybe you should read
goes full
Dooku Rising.
all right, I will send me a link. If anyone links
Listen
me
to it.
something that says Dooku Rising, I will not open it. But after rewatching these today, maybe I go rewatch the prequels again. I can always go back and watch those. It's like, oh, Christopher Lee when he's like, no, it's a mistake. There's been a terrible mistake. And Obi-Wan's suspended in the thing. I love it. It's a one and done, says Rick Jones. Unfortunate. But it makes sense because it leads us to a certain point. I guess it's hard to find more space between this and what we know to
Oh, but
happen
it's
later.
so
Or maybe
vaguely
books.
titled Tales of the Jedi. Like they could give us tales of other Jedi,
Yes,
you know?
absolutely. It's definitely an opportunity there. Maybe that's it for these characters.
Yeah.
The next episode, Yoko, is titled
Practice makes perfect.
Practice Makes Perfect. We go back to Ahsoka. They're in this dojo style training room. Again, when I was collecting the Jedi 3 3/4 scale, I had a Plo Koon with the Jedi armor gauntlets. I had this clone armor Obi-Wan, and it was awesome from that era. I think there was a clone armor Mace Windu as well, who you don't care about. But they're in here. I didn't get the screenshot because it's not a big deal. But there is a young Caleb Doom Padawan.
Yeah, why didn't you get that screenshot?
It was like, it's there. That's it. It's like, oh, you know he was a Jedi and he's there. That's it.
The Kanan Easter egg wasn't worth your screenshotting?
I don't know.
I'm a
Is
little
there
offended.
anyone? Is there anyone? Let me know in the comments. Did you not know it was Kanan? And if you didn't, I will screenshot it and personally deliver it to you digitally through Instagram or just tag you.
It feels disrespectful.
To Kanan.
Yes.
He's just, he was just sitting there. He didn't need. It could have been any other Jedi.
It could have been.
It could have been a no name.
It's a little gratuitous, but
It's not like he was like, "Hey, look at me," and he's just doing a dance.
I know,
Like,
because
yeah,
he didn't
that's fine.
speak or anything, it's kind of fun that he was in there, you know.
Yes. During the funeral scene in the previous episode, I was trying to look at all the other Jedi, and I didn't know who a lot of them were, but that was okay. One of them was Ki-Adi Mundi. You could see, obviously. Patty says, I actually rewatched Attack and Revenge yesterday, and I couldn't remember who erased Camino till today. They don't say it. They don't say it because Obi-Wan goes to look for it, and then immediately goes to Yoda and gets schooled by that kid, right? Rick Jones, okay, I agree there could be sequel potential. Yeah, we can, using the vagueness of the title, you can do more Jedi. Flo is actually Dave Filoni's favorite. Gross Fidelity says, give us a Quinlan Voss story,
I like
either
it.
in Tales or Season 2 or a Dark
They
Disciple.
should, because of the
book?
Ventress arc the Ventress arc was originally written for Clone Wars, and then they scrapped it, I think, when the show got canceled. So that's why they made it into a book, and that one's great. Ooh, there's a little bit of there's a little Dooku in that one too. In Dark Disciple. I know what I said. I recommend that one too. But no, seeing that in Tales of a Jedi would be fun.
There's a little Dooku in that one, is what my toddler said to me when he comes home and I'm changing his clothes when he comes home from school. He's like, Papa,
Dooku
Papa.
makes an appearance in that one too. Is that what I should have said?
Still works
want-
both ways.
I want more Quinlan Voss story though.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be some more of him in Kenobi, the show, but
Mhm.
it's all good. It doesn't need to be there all the
He's
time.
gonna show up somewhere. That little. He's got to show up somewhere.
Hopefully. Ahsoka's in this training room. She's training against droids. You see the old Jedi Master there with her, who is one of the frozen in amber bodies in Kenobi, in the Sith Fortress Inquisitorius.
Mm-hmm.
So you see him again, and little Yoda here, who's like, I will not learn your language. Or learn your language. I will not.
There you go.
There we go. There it is. It's like that joke where it's like, it's Jeopardy. It's like, oh, sorry, who is so-and-so? Who is Yoda? It has to be asked in the form of a question. Yeah, so did you feel Did you feel it was weird that it was a room of like 40 clones just shooting on a, a teenage girl?
Yeah,
I get that they were training, but like seems a little much.
they were set
I
to
don't.
stun.
Okay, but she was still getting
Yeah, and then they'd pass her out and just leave her laying there,
bombarded.
passed
Yeah,
out.
it's. I don't know. I felt a little like that's very excessive. But she's a total badass. Look at this shot.
Mhm.
And she doesn't give up, and I absolutely love that about her. She just gets up every time, and tries harder, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching. Why? Why are they just like firing into like essentially like a barrel, and just like why are they doing this? But you see it all builds towards something, you know, Ahsoka created by Dave Filoni. There's a point. It all
Ugh,
builds
goosebumps, right?
into
Ugh,
this scene from the Clone Wars final season,
yeah.
where she has to go in with Rex to fight these other clones, and essentially in the same situation. At first, I was like, "Did you notice? Did you know what happened right away when they show her later and she's standing with Rex?"
Yeah, I kind of had the feeling with because the clones around her instantly gave me flashbacks to season 7
Okay, and they were in the same. At first,
finale.
I'm like, "Hey, that's the same hangar." It looked like the same
Mhm.
hangar.
Yeah.
And then when they showed her, they're like, "Are you ready?" and something like that. I'm like, "Why does she look a little bit older?" And then with anything Star Wars, because you're always jumping here, there, before this series and after that, and we're always jumping around. That it always takes me a few minutes to kind of place it chronologically, and the door. I'm like, okay, she looks older, so is this? And then the door opens, and then like goosebumps, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, so Anakin saves her life essentially, right? Like,
Oh yes, that's a good point.
right? Like, which is so, I don't know, poetic and beautiful and tragic all at the same time. That Anakin's training is what saved her from Order 66.
I
Did I
saw.
just blow, did I just blow your mind? Oh,
No, 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 for sure, for sure. It's because
you were
he's
You were
he's out.
buffering.
He's out hunting Jedi
Yeah.
and everybody, and this skill or this training that he put her through. You're right. Gave her the tools
It
necessary.
made me wonder, like, did he have some kind of like foreshadowing, like some kind of
Force vision.
vision of this happening to her, or like, when he that arc in Clone Wars, the Mortis arc, when he got like when they told him what was going to happen to him, the brother, and then they erased his memory. But
I
I
think
wondered if
so.
there was like something lingering or coming back from that, like like maybe I don't know, like I wonder if something was driving him to train her, right? I'm
Yeah,
convinced.
he does. That would be really cool. Maybe in Tales of the Jedi 2, they will add the backstory to this backstory of another backstory. That's why it takes me time
That's
to
probably not necessary,
to
but
place to place these scenes. Hey, Jason Lapid is in the
yeah,
chat. What's up, my
yeah.
friend? There is a Marvel Legends panel on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Jason and I will be doing the return of Dope or Nope here on the channel. We're going to talk about some of those reveals or what they show that day. If anything goes up for pre-order, I don't know yet, but I got a whole bunch of new Marvel Legends today. I've got some en route. Do you say route or route? I don't know.
I have to think about it now.
All right, we'll figure it out.
En route.
There you go. You have a Star Wars Black Series Ahsoka credit collection figure
En route to me.
en route.
Yeah.
En route. All right. That's groundskeeper Willie. All right.
Okay.
So he tried to prevent her slaughter. Yeah, if he had a vision, that would be actually pretty crazy. But then, that opens up for like, why didn't he do more for this and that?
I think maybe he didn't really know what he saw, or like, like he just knew enough to know he had to teach her or train her properly for that scenario. I think. Like he didn't have his vision wouldn't have given him much context or anything, you know? He just knew that
Maybe he just saw her getting shot.
because he was so driven by fear, right? That's his whole thing, fear of losing people, and so like that's what he saw as how, I don't know, it makes sense to me.
It would be cool. It would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is an incredible shot. I want to rewatch that. Was it the last 3 episodes? Was this arc of
Mhm.
season
Last
8?
4
7 or 8?
episodes.
All right. Well, we're just gonna jump right into the next episode on that part. The next episode, the final episode, it is called
Resolve.
Nice way to pick up on that cue. Thank you. Very smooth. And they are at the funeral for Padme.
I love the idea that she was secretly in the crowd there.
Yes,
Ahsoka.
it was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, it took me a minute, but so this is after episode 3 that she's passed, and Anakin is now Vader, and all the Jedi are on the run, but she's there. You see Mon Mothma, who we absolutely loved in Andor.
Mhm.
We see Bail Organa, which we already know is a huge part of the rebellion, and he's trying to convince her to stay and to help out. There's a lot of things that need to be done, and I love the part where, you know, she's jumped up because the stormtroopers or the clone troopers have discovered him. Like, this is a restricted area, you can't be here. So he's like, if you ever
Speaking in
need
code
my
to her.
help,
Yeah.
just feel free to call me with the phone I
Troopers are
gave
like-
you.
Troopers are like, whatever, he's drunk.
In typical trooper fashion, they look at each other and they go, right?
Above our pay grade.
Yeah. These senators are all weird. So she goes into hiding, I guess, and she's in this village. And you know, she's put in a situation where she's forced to use her powers to save the life of somebody. And it gets revealed. It gets revealed that she's a Jedi. Now, after we've seen Kenobi, the series, where he's shut himself off from the Force, and you know, he's not connected to it. He hasn't used it for, you know, feeding a hottie some apples across the table and doing tricks like that. Or, you know, in the series, he had trouble focusing on catching Leia from falling. You know, Ahsoka's able to turn on her powers real quick. I think, you know,
I don't think that much time had passed yet.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So she's technically disconnected, but you know, there's still some charge left in the battery. But of course, upon using her powers, one of these this kid from the village who we see arguing with an old guy, like, Empire is great. The Empire is great. Palpatine is great.
Yeah.
And the old man's trying to impress upon him. He's like, no, young man, you know, it's at the cost of innocent people. That's the kid who ends up reporting there's a Jedi here. And so an Inquisitor arrives. And like one of the sickest Inquisitor designs I've ever seen. He's got the Empire emblems, the cog on both shoulders on his cape. This pointy mask. He's got the standard issue dual bladed spinny lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I love that he didn't know who she was at first, and then he's like, "Could it be you?
You're
supposed to be dead."
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, "Gasp!" Ahsoka Tano. How sick was her fight, Yoko?
It was it was pretty sick. She was
It's as
she
sick
was
as my cough.
unarmed. She was unarmed and made really quick work of him. But this is my thing. It's like the book, Ahsoka Rising. It's just called Ahsoka. The book is just called Ahsoka. The thing, this episode was great, but the book is supposed to be canon.
Okay.
And basically felt a lot like this episode, but with a lot more thrown into it, right? Like a lot more detail, a lot more time, more of her, like, you know, what she was doing afterwards.
Sorry, the book seems like a more descriptive part of this episode, you mean? Like
Yeah,
more
yeah, I think so.
detailed?
Like this was like a really cut down version of the book, but
Okay.
it takes
Perfect
out
for me.
some details that I really enjoyed, I think, in that book, and so I'm just curious if this is going to like override what happens in the book. In the book, it was the sixth brother that came
Okay.
after her. She didn't quite get rid of him that quickly, but they never specify which Inquisitor he is in this episode, right? I don't think so.
They do not.
I'm curious if this is still supposed to be the sixth brother. The other
Is
part they
it
didn't
likely
show.
that 2 Inquisitors came to her in this fashion?
Yeah, I don't know and she killed 2
Right.
of them.
Yeah.
Because the other part, I mean, this is a book spoiler, but I'm gonna spoil it. Is she takes his kyber crystal and basically drains it of evil, of the darkness,
Mm.
and so the red kyber crystal becomes white, and that becomes her new lightsabers.
Right.
And that's how she gets the white lightsabers that you see her have in Rebels. And so they go into that more. The way she meets up with Bail again and becomes Fulcrum eventually is like, gets into that a little bit more in the book too.
Oh, okay. I mean,
So yeah.
I think we can assume it's probably the same event, and just
Yeah.
usually, like if you read like a movie adaptation of like a comic or a novelization of a movie or something, maybe
Right. It gets
there are
condensed like that.
slight
Yeah.
changes.
I don't, like I'm torn on this episode because I don't like a 12-minute episode just, replacing a whole book. but it's a great story, and it's fun to see it this way too. So hopefully they can live together.
Her and the Inquisitor, or the episode
No.
in the book?
The episode in the book.
Okay, because he did.
He dead.
This guy is so laughably weak. She has no lightsaber.
Yeah.
She just stops. She just grabs it as he's swinging on her, turns off the saber, yoinks it from him, and then just cuts him down. Guy was
Yeah.
garbage. He looks. He's got the Boba Fett thing going on, where it's like total looks badass, taken out in 3.5 seconds.
Right. Because like the Inquisitors you see in Rebels later, well, later by timeline, but like they have such a hard time disposing of those Inquisitors.
Mm-hmm.
In Kenobi we see the same thing, yeah. And then this one, Ahsoka with no weapon takes him out in 5 seconds.
So maybe this guy's like the 16th brother. Like he's so far down the list.
Not the 6th.
They're just like, oh, fine. Someone get him a cape. Or maybe he's not even a real one. He just
because his
logos on his cape.
Because his face deflated.
Yeah, it made a hissing sound.
Maybe he was
And
just
his
legs
mask-
with a balloon on top or something.
It was just 2 kids in a
Yeah, in a trench coat.
and Ahsoka's like, what have I done?
Yeah. Because that was really weird though, right? How his face just deflated.
Yeah, it made a hissing sound. I remember
Right?
that.
I feel like
And
we
then-
haven't seen that before.
did she just like cut the mask off, and that's it falling into the ground?
It looked like it was his whole head.
Either way, I like Toyrensu, I do want a Black Series figure of this Inquisitor. No, actually vintage collection to go with the other Inquisitors. 796 says he must have been a Inquisitor intern. No, not the intern.
There is an Inquisitor book coming. Is it out yet? No, it comes out next summer. That one is almost called Inquisitors Rising.
What is it
It's
called?
called Inquisitor Rise of the Red Blade.
We're getting there. They're running out of names, Yoko. One day, well, they have like Star Wars Rising. Is that a thing? That sounds familiar. Charles Stevens, welcome back, says, do you think it is limited on the story from the book because the Ahsoka series may touch on some of that material? Ooh,
Maybe. Yeah.
But then that's like older Ahsoka, right? So who knows how much they could reference
Flashbacks.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be
Flashback
cool.
does.
Hey, what's up,
Yeah.
Quinn? Quinn
She's
Collins
back
says
to-
it's a Scooby-Doo villain.
He did seem like a
More.
Scooby-Doo villain.
Well, he knew who she was, so
Mhm.
he's been studying the list of former Jedi. Can you hear my nose getting more stuffed as the stream goes along? I'm like more congested.
Now that you've
Uh,
called it out, I noticed it.
Jason says, I assumed he was a partially gas-based entity. You are a gas-based entity, my friend. All right, so after the Inquisitor burns down this village because of that stupid kid who's like, "Oh, Empire's the best," but he finally sees how shitty the Empire is because it's like, "Hey, I called
Does
this in."
he, or does he just get scared and he's like, "Oh, they were"?
No, because he's like, "I'm so sorry," and then she's like,
Yeah.
"I know you are, but what am I?"
But he
No,
was only
she doesn't
sorry
know
because he almost died and she saved him.
Well, and he got. I think everyone in the village is a lot. A lot of people are dead or on
Yeah.
fire. There's a droid on fire, just the legs.
Yeah, I don't think
remaining.
his sorry is gonna cut it. His sorry is not gonna bring these people back.
True, for sure. But I think what I was saying, he might change his mind because he's like,
So,
I
he's
deserve a
still
reward for
garbage.
this. And then he's like, here's your reward. I'm gonna cut you.
Mhm.
But he was saved. Oh, that was awesome. The force, I guess, pull, when she shoved his lightsaber down.
Right.
When the Inquisitor was supposed to kill the kid. All right, so these guys, the villagers, the remaining survivors are like, I think there's like a family left or two, and Ahsoka's like, you can't stay here. They're gonna come for me. They're gonna come looking for me after this happens. So she finally uses the communicator from Bale to call in for assistance, and he comes with the Tantive to bring everybody, relocate them, I guess. And then he's like, "You sure you're ready to get back into the mix?" She does a nice stare, and then you already know it's Fulcrum. That's Fulcrum Rising at that moment.
Ooh, that'd be a great book title.
That's a great title, especially how I said it.
Yeah. Should we write it?
Fulcrum Rising. All right, let me see if that domain's free. That's it. That's a series. I mean, I loved it.
Mhm.
More Jedi Masters that I got to see, and I'm reminded of how sad it was for the ones that died. You kind of feel a little bit for. I feel a little bit more for Dooku. I know you don't feel anything.
No, I mean, it made him more interesting for sure. It gave him more depth. The timeline, understanding that timeline better makes him
Re-understanding?
re-understanding his timeline makes him a little bit more interesting to me. But to me, I don't know. To me, he's mostly interesting in the sense of how he was connected to Qui-Gon, because I like Qui-Gon.
Yes.
But I feel like if people, like, I know we keep talking about books and it's a joke half the time, but like, if you really like these stories, I really think you would enjoy some of these books that are out there. I'm not saying to you necessarily, Kev. I'm just saying
Oh, okay.
to
Thank God.
anyone. So maybe go pick a character that you really like and check out a book. Learn some of these stories that don't get told otherwise.
Go. Tonight's episode sponsored by Audible. No, it's not. But there's Audible, there's Kindle, there's and I think that's one of the great features of the audiobooks, right, Yoko? They have obviously people who read it to you, but some of them do voices.
Yeah. There are most of them, except for that one that I didn't like the Ventress voice. But on the most part, the audiobooks are great. The Thrawn audiobooks, like listening to him do Thrawn's voice is great.
Yeah.
Those are fun too.
Torrentsu, do these books have pictures in them? Yes, the audiobooks actually have really great pictures in them.
Yeah.
I'm searching Kindle right now.
Oh, look, Legendary Poser says Ahsoka is free on Prime.
Wait, I have it right here. Look.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
It's a pretty quick read, It's.
I'm 3% in. I think I started a year ago.
You read like the intro,
Oh, she's called Ashla in this. Wait, is this about her? All right, I'm not gonna read live. We should. We'll do an audio book reading one day.
Oh yeah.
like Jason does with his podcast, X-Men.
Yeah.
We can do voices.
Read the Ahsoka book.
Yeah. Do it.
There's a Fallen Order book coming out too, because someone mentioned Fallen Order earlier.
Oh yeah, that takes place between the two games.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that.
I feel like I've accepted that I'm not going to replay the game.
Yeah.
So I should watch the video on how it
Yeah.
ends. I have an idea. but
Or
I
like,
don't know for
yeah,
sure.
find the cutscenes. Like someone must
Yeah.
have put all the cutscenes together.
I think so. You did get something Star Wars, Yoko. You didn't really show it. You need
Jedi
full
Battle Scars coming in March 7th.
Jedi's Beastgarn. I said you did get something new Star Wars. Do I need to full screen you for this?
Oh, my new necklace.
Yes.
So I got one of
Enhanced.
Boba Squadron. I'm gonna get close to my camera. Boba Squadron necklace. I got this custom made on wrong hand. Custom made on Etsy.
Awesome. So
I
cool.
sent her the Boba Squadron logo, and she put it right on there. Isn't that cute?
All right, I'm gonna put it back to regular before you shoo me away from full screen.
Thank you.
That looks great.
Make sure I almost missed my chair. That would have been embarrassing.
That's cool. Anton says, what's going on? Anton says that's dope. Yoko?
Yeah, it's cute. You can, now that you know what it is, you can tell, right?
I guess. What's next? What's next for Star Wars content?
Bad Batch.
Oops. Oh, let's talk about Bad Batch, but I think Mando season 3 was confirmed for March 1st,
March 1st? Yeah.
23.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that.
That'll be fun. We'll do midnight 30 for that for sure. That's probably the
Yoko
next
will do
midnight 30.
midnight 30 on her channel on Twitch.
Yeah.
Hopefully Boba Squadron will be able to do that recap for those episodes, because he was in the trailer, right? Paul was in the trailer, the celebration trailer.
Yeah.
So, he can talk about the fabrics from when he was on set.
It'll be fun.
And Bad Batch is when?
I think Bad Batch is supposed to be right at the beginning of the year, January 4th.
Oh, I'm not ready for this.
You're not ready?
No.
We haven't gotten a trailer yet.
No, we have.
Have we? Oh,
Yeah,
we
they're
have,
all
we
in
have.
new costumes. Remember, I was upset. Well, I was like, "Hey, I finally got all my Black
yeah.
Series
You're right.
Bad Batch just in time for them to change everything for season 2."
It feels like they should have one more trailer though, don't they? Like,
Yeah, hopefully to remind us that it's coming out soon, that they have a new trailer. Gross Fidelli says, "In the meantime, go watch Willow." I never watched the original.
me
I saw
neither.
the reaction
Should that be our
figures.
homework?
I don't.
You don't want it?
I don't know. It's cool. Warwick Davis is in it, but I don't know. I don't have time for more new series and things to go back into. But look, we wrapped it up in an hour 26, and 6 of that was like intro, and 23 of that was warm up. Who you cursing?
It's on. It's
Who are you
focused
cursing?
on.
I think this is an episode that we can make for podcast. Make for a podcast. We can export the audio for podcast.
Yeah.
So
Except for when I
Ernie-
showed my necklace. Oh, but I think I described it. It's a boba tea with
With
the Boba
our
Squadron logo.
Perfect. So Ernie, Paul, we miss you. If you listen to
Oh,
this,
I was like, I know Ernie and Paul.
thanks. Hey, I know I have friends with those same names.
Yeah, I know them.
We miss you. It's too bad you couldn't make it tonight, but damn, are we efficient?
Yeah,
Remember how quick it was with me, you, and Paul?
yeah. We'd still be here another hour.
I mean, should we just cut
Too
them?
bad. I am curious to hear what they would have had to say about these episodes, but maybe they can tell us next time.
Charles Stevens says we need Paul here to shame you for that one. Well, do we need them here?
Too bad. Too
I'm
bad they
kidding.
weren't here to assign it to us.
Yep. We took care of business. Yoko, is that good? Anything else Star Wars going on? Or are we going to call it? We can cut this part of the podcast.
I don't know. I can think of anything. We go on a hiatus until Bad Batch?
We'll put this on as a audio version, and then podcast listeners will enjoy that there. We'll see you next week if there's anything to talk about. I'm always down to hang out with one or three of you, or two. So,
1 or 3, but not 2.
or 2. I added 2. Which 2 for you to decide, Ernie? Let us know in the comments, in the chat, if you're watching the replay. Should we just come back and hang out for like an hour or so until new shows start up? What's going on? Archie in the chat. And Bearded Builds. What's going on, Bearded? Okay, Yoko. I think that's good. Are you streaming the upcoming Tuesday? What's your holiday schedule like?
Yeah, I'm streaming this next Tuesday. Probably not the Tuesday after that, but I'm trying to stick to Tuesdays. I'll just be out of town 1 week. But yeah, so follow me over on Twitch, living La Vida Yoko. Been on a video game kick lately. Apparently I have to play Overcooked or Mega Man.
Oh, yes,
or
please.
Street Fighter.
Yes, please. That would be great.
Games I didn't play as a child. See, it wasn't just movies I missed out on. I also missed out on video games.
Yes. It's all good. It's a lot of stuff.
So that's what I'm doing. I think that's about it.
All right. On Thursday we had the enabler stream. Had a 5-hour, 45-minute stream with the enablers and special guest Ryan Ting. So if you want to go check it out, it's right here on the channel. Hunting Around is on the channel. I recorded a new episode today, so look for that episode next week. Unboxing will be going on every Thursday this month on December 29th. I know there's a lot of channel members here. I'm trying to reach for something in the background without looking.
What?
A no look
That's
received.
how things fall. No.
A no look received. There are a lot of channel members here in the chat tonight. I'm going to do a channel members favored episode on December 29th. So there's going to be, nope, that's not what I was going
Whoa,
for.
that was really close.
I'm gonna do a draw for this minty fresh card Marvel Legends retro Spider-Man. Sorry, not retro, animated series Spider-Man on this card. If you're a channel member here on YouTube, I'm gonna add your name to a list to do a draw as a thank you, small thank you for people who support the channel. If you're a Butter Army member, you get 1 entry. Butter Rangers 2 and Butter Baron 3, and then we'll do a spinny wheel or random number maybe, and then just grab a number from there. Probably more prizes to come as the month goes on. And also, I made a post here on the YouTube community page about, does anyone, channel members, want to hop on and unbox something, for a few minutes? And there's a lot of interest in that, so comment on that post so I can get an idea of how many people want to come on, and maybe somewhere between 5
I'll
to...
self-invite myself.
Oh, yay! Yay! For that, but you got to comment so I know. So if you have a toy to open that day, so I know.
Oh, what if I don't have a toy to open? Because Enablers is like the next week.
Fine, that's fine. Just self-invite, or you can be there the whole time. And chaperone, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, I'm a good chaperone.
You can read a book in the background.
Oh, perfect. I didn't even finish my boba today.
Yeah, because we were talking.
We were too efficient.
We were very efficient.
Oh, and I had to talk more because I usually drink while Paul and Ernie are talking.
And I scroll through slides. But yeah, December 29th, channel
sense.
member is going to be on, and I'll drop a link for people to join that day. So hopefully that's a cool thing. If it works out, if people have fun, we can try to do that more often. So it as a thank you for people who are channel members to support the channel. If you would like to do so, you can hit the join button down below in the YouTube description, or you can give a gifted membership to someone in the chat as well.
Just not Ernie.
Ernie got 3. What the heck? All right, let's get out of here. I have some cough syrup I need to heat up and turn into a flaming Mo. Yoko,
Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and listening on the platform of your choice, since I think this is an audio version now as well in the future that you're listening to this. Thank you. That's not going to make sense on the audio version. We can't do that.
Why is she laughing? I don't know.
Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Shout out to Paul and Ernie. We'll see you for Bad Batch, or maybe before, but definitely for Bad Batch. Thank you. Happy holidays.
Nailed it. Have a good night, everyone. Keep going around. Peace.
Good night.